Equine Hanna Somatics is mind-body integration through movement, which increases body awareness and creates better fine motor control. This relieves pain and stiffness, which can make any horse feel and act younger. It enhances performance by allowing the horse to live up to their athletic potential, and it also creates a strong natural bonding experience between the horse and handler. I call it the missing link.
This is an application of the principles of human Hanna Somatics developed by Thomas Hanna from his work with thousands of people. And it's an application of the principles with horses, and because they have very similar physiologies to the human, and of course they respond in very similar ways.
Most of the muscles in our body are designed to work in pairs or in teams, and since we have a right and a left side and a front and a back, they're usually working in conjunction with one another. So if one side of that team is tight and the other side is loose, it's going to throw off the overall balance of the body.
If they're injured, all the muscles around will contract to form a splint to keep the horse from moving in a direction that might be painful. The recovery process will be taking care of the part of the body that's injured, but there are a lot of compensations that develop of other muscles contracting. And after the injury is healed, all those compensations are still being contracted over and over again. And so what we're doing with this work is resetting the resting level of the muscle so that that's the new level that is maintained.
It has to do with where the signal to use that muscle or to activate or contract that muscle originates in the brain. Because if it comes from one area of the brain, that muscle can contract and stay that way. There's a totally separate area of the brain that can communicate a relaxation in that muscle until you have that muscle back in neutral instead of in a partially active but not active on purpose state.
We're building on a natural reflex, which is called pendiculation, but we are doing it voluntarily so that the horse can reset the muscles. The first time you do it with the horse, first of all, doesn't know what it is. It's a pickup and a slow coming out of the contraction, and that's the goal, is for them to use their brains and use it to contract and slowly come out of it.
Sometimes our muscles get left in an active position and that muscle is still working even after we've finished using it for a purpose. And so in doing Hanna Somatic exercises, that awareness comes up and you can feel then that a muscle is tight or sore or nice and lengthened and loose and warm and supple feeling.
One of the things that happens is that we can prime the joints a little more by doing equine Hanna Somatics. Joints move more easily because joint synovial fluid is produced by movement, and if the horse is very stiff, it won't be moving the joints in the same way.
One of my horses used to buck when you'd ask him to canter under saddle. And those kinds of behaviors can be related to pain or just an inability to perform. And afterwards, they'll just go into the canter and they won't even think of bucking because they're able to. Or they'll approach a jump and they'll do it because they can. And it opens up more possibilities for performance and athletic capability effortlessly. So it's not something they even have to think about, they can just do it.
We've got a contracted muscle. It could have been contracted for 10 years. But we can release it and we can see the results immediately. And that's the excitement of it. You know you've made a difference.
My driving force behind this is I think that every horse in the world deserves equine Hanna Somatics and can benefit from it on some level, some more than others. But it's something that should be out there and I want every horse owner to know about it so that they can go out and practice it, learn it, teach their horse about it, and use it to enhance their relationship and their bonding process, their communication. Basically everything that you do with a horse will be enhanced by incorporating this into the work and the everyday play that we do with our horses.